Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Brendan, and I am here with John today.
Hi.
We're here. We wanted to talk about the quality of the YouTube comments out there. But everybody, anybody who's like on YouTube knows this. Now, so I guess, let's see. People, I'm assuming, like when we first got Peter on YouTube, which I was like, Peter, I want to do this. I have recorded hundreds of hours of him teaching because I knew, hey, we're going to need this. And we do. I mean, we don't need it. That's a strong word, but we're putting stuff on YouTube. And I think then comments started coming in, and he would read some of the comments sometimes, and it would be flabbergasting. And I'm like, that's the internet for you. And I think everybody who's younger generation probably grows up, and you see the bullshit on the internet, right? Like the internet is full of trash. If you have like an open forum somewhere, just go on Reddit, just look at YouTube comments. There's a big difference between how people comment on YouTube and what they would say to your face. I mean, and what the fuck? See, and now, well, here's what I bet, right? I'm saying this about YouTube comments. Somebody is going to put a comment in there that's just fucking like the most random, inane crap. Like if I'm trying to teach somebody something, what do those comments act like? Let's tell the truth about the comments. Let's tell the truth. Like, what is the function of a comment like that? What does it actually provide in the world? Like what actually what happens is some text appears on a screen. That's what happens.
Well, I think aren't we really well, I was just thinking about like where are people coming from when they ask a question, and I think as far as the internet goes, there's always going to be a bunch of like just really low grade whatever idiotic things that are just getting posted willy-nilly. And we can talk about that, like, what does being anonymous do to our filters?
Right.
There's
I suspect it has to do with being anonymous.
But I was more referring to people who are asking serious questions. But like when I read, and you harp on it on and on and on, and I don't usually pay it much attention, but I think it's just because I don't get confronted with the same stuff all the time. When I read some of the comments and questions that I think are intended to be serious, what I usually see is a lot of look at me, I've got this cool belief system. Would you validate that for me, please? Check. Would you check these boxes for me so then I can have this cool thing validated by Brendan Lea or Peter Ralston? And I'm pretty convinced that's not what you're in the business of doing.
Yeah, no, I would. So you're listening. If you are, I also share this view. There is a lot of, and I suspect it's mostly younger men right now, anyway, younger people. And they have a system of thinking, and then they want, validation. Now, sometimes there does seem to be some genuine confusion, but mostly it's look at me, or am I right? Am I valid? And John is correct. No, I am not in that business of validating your beliefs because let's see. At the end of the day, what people this also speaks to a larger issue of believing stuff. Which And these kinds of questions also come up in workshops. Or we even heard a story. I heard a story from Peter about Ramana Maharshi. Ramana Maharshi there was a guy studying from Ramana who said all this stuff and to ask a question. Then Ramana says, "You're not asking a question. You're trying to share how special you are. You're trying to share how much you know. There's no question there." So then guys that are trying to make a difference, like if we weren't so much trying to make an actual real difference, I wouldn't harp on this stuff, but those kinds of questions are trash. They're not even questions. They're, look at me, I'm so special. Let me handle all of those questions. Your beliefs are totally valid and you are special. There, now we just finished all those questions. Now, can we get to some actual questions?
You need an AI agent to handle.
Right, just like
this chat bot,
next
conversational bot.
Next, let's do
that can handle all that.
Yeah, yeah. No, your beliefs are valid. Now, and then this larger issue, which I'm talking about, which again and again and again we're going on here. Peter has said a million times, don't believe me. Don't believe me. You don't need to believe. And then what people don't know, and because I also get it, because I was this way when I was younger, when I didn't know shit. And I even tried to get rid of my fantasies and beliefs before coming here to do some work. And still, it is so enticing and it's so tricky because people don't even realize they're coming from a belief system. Yeah. It is fucking insidious. It is amazingly powerful. It is incredible. And so I get it. Like, so then of course, coming from that, because they don't realize their mind is warped reality. They're in a world. They can't separate the real from the false. Not that they won't at some point. They're not separating. You are not separating the real from the false right now. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of false. And what I mean by false is it's not an object. And then we could go deeper and get into like if objects are even real. But right now, just relatively speaking, there is so much overlay with concept. It is like if somebody's really entrenched in that, it is almost impossible to see. From their perspective, it is almost impossible for them to notice that they're doing that.
That's something that I wanted to talk with you, and maybe it's like a little premature because I think there's other stuff, but I wanted to talk with you about, I don't think I get, I mean, I've had hits on it, but I don't think I get what a concept is. And I've done work on this. And the reason that I think I don't get what a concept is, I don't know how to turn off physical pain. I don't know how to just, like, I know how to bear it. I know how to turn into it. That's one thing. I can turn into the pain. That works. But I don't know how to just stop making the distinction of physical pain. And that's something I was listening to a podcast recently of you were interviewing Peter. Or no, this is another guy interviewing Peter, and he talked about physical pain. And yeah, he wasn't white knuckling it when he got his root canal.
Yeah.
He just stopped making the distinction of pain because he understands he gets what pain is as a distinction, as a concept.
Yeah.
I don't get that, because if I did, I'd have a lot less pain in my life. I'm pretty sure, I just that'd be one of the ones to go most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But I guess wider than that is not just pain, but like what concepts really are.
Yeah.
And I want to even connect this to there was a comment that I observed in another one of Peter's videos recently. In fact, I can read it. It's boom, 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 boom. It was for the interview. You were interviewing him. Number 19. Why should we follow principles? And one of the comments in that was a question, and I think it's probably a very honest question. Fine. It was just one day ago. Can systems like ACIM, Buddhism, etc., be principles to live by than beliefs? I think he meant rather than beliefs, and it's a question mark. And
oh, yeah. Okay.
You see what I mean? And I think that there's a conflation of concepts there and all kinds of stuff that we could get into.
Right. So like, I'm going to steer the conversation back. I feel like we haven't finished what I wanted to say, and or I'm not done with this whole comments thing yet. And that might be a perfect example. So it's like, or a good example to add to the conversation here. So read that again.
Yeah, sure. Can ACIM, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
Buddhism, etc., be principles to live by than beliefs? And I think he didn't say rather than beliefs. I think that's what he meant to say.
All right, ACIM. A Course in Miracles, a spiritual self-study program that aims to bring inner peace through a thought system that reframes perception and promotes love and over fear.
Yeah.
Okay, so then read it one more time. So it's can
those things, ACIM, Buddhism, etc., whatever that is, be principles to live by, like honor, integrity, and the other things that were talked about there, rather than beliefs.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so then there's a question, right? I mean, you can see we read it 3 times because I want to be like more and more clear about what the fuck are they actually asking as best I can before I respond. That's one good thing to do. And then ACIM didn't know A Course in Miracles. Okay, figure that out. And then that question, so within, it depends on the context in which the question is being asked. He's asking a question to Peter. It's more like a facilitator context, right? Now, those kinds of questions, I have a whole domain for that, is the tell me how to live questions. So right away, this person is asking a question that is basically, how should I live my life? And within the context of this work, we don't give a fuck. Live your life however the fuck you want. Do you understand? Now, we could also answer the question. Now, something that might actually help serve you, the person, is 1, you figure it the fuck out how you want to live. And then 2, can we live by principles rather than beliefs? Yes. Can we live by, start the question again?
Can systems like ACIM, Buddhism, etc.
That's fine. Right. So systems, right away, what I think might be best for you to hear in this case is you're now basing how you live. So what it sounds like to me is you're basing how you want to live on something somebody else wrote down, which is essentially you're asking them to tell you how to live. Buddhism. What is Buddhism? Well, at this point, it is a belief system. Did you know that people wrote shit down after Buddha died? That became Buddhism. Buddha wasn't a Buddhist. You see. So now within the context of this work, that is then following a system that somebody else wrote down. Can you live by systems? The answer is yes. because people live by systems all the time, or they live based on what somebody else said all the time. Now, that is absolutely not what we are up to here at all. Not at all. I'll repeat myself. We're not up to that at all, and we don't give a fuck how you live. Don't give a shit. Yeah? What we are up to is inviting you to consider for yourself what's actually true. Now, it just so happens that there are principles. You can discover what those are, and when you discover what those are for real, for yourself, you might want to live by them because they are fucking awesome. Okay?
Well, really empowering.
Yeah. Which has the byproduct of me saying something like, they're fucking awesome. As a human being, if you have this understanding and then choose to live by that, your experience of yourself and your world will change, and you'll like it, probably, because it's more powerful, it's more open, it's more free. Why? Because that's what that principle does. And the way you go about that in this whatever we're doing is you find out what the fuck it is. Right? Like, discover the principle. Whoa, wait a minute. This principle applies here. Holy shit.
Can I add, listening to that video, I heard how he talked about, physical principles that govern physics, like gravity.
Yeah, like there's
and then
yeah, okay, yeah.
Right, and then relational principles that happen in objective reality, like what you do in martial arts.
Sure.
Or how you make a plane fly.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the relational principles like following and leading and cutting. And then the social principles like honor, integrity, honesty.
Yeah. And integrity also is a principle that applies to objects, by the way. It's just
there you go.
Objects
are
broken, they're broken. It's fucking done deal.
One of the things that was impactful for me to hear was how if you're doing a principle like honesty or a principle like following or leading, to really do that principle, to make that principle real, so to speak, is to make it as universal as in your experience, really, not just in your delusional mind,
yeah.
but
Just
demonstrably,
yeah,
demonstrably real in your experience, to the same degree that gravity is real in your experience.
Yeah.
So if you're following, it's constant.
Yeah.
It just is. It's constant. You completely abide by it. And that's why honesty, when Peter talks about honesty, nobody's honest like that. I'm not honest anything like that.
Yeah, most people aren't honest.
And
even honest people are not, like, if we really look, they're not honest. And then people can confuse the honesty with a moral issue. No. We're not talking about morality here. We're talking about being honest. Anyway, just sidebar. Sorry.
Yeah, just that had me look at the principles in a new light and take them and give them, I guess, like as if more respect, because if I really think about it, he says it, he's like, really think about it before you consider taking on a principle like honesty in your life, or integrity in your life, because it will reshape your life. And to the degree that you haven't been honest or haven't had integrity in your life, well, you're going to be making some changes. It might be very disruptive to the way things you've got going now are.
Sure.
So you have to really consider that. It's no small matter. And when I hear that fellow's question in the comments, could Buddhism or ACIM or whatever be taken on as a principle? Well, no, but did Buddha or somebody ever talk about principles? Maybe they didn't use the word principles, but they were speaking about something that would be as if a principle, like Jesus talked about forgiveness.
Yeah.
For example, boom. And then if you really took that on like a principle, guess what? You're not angry at anybody anymore. Whoa.
Yeah. And I wanted to be clear, because you did say just now, it's like, could ACI or ACIM and Buddhism be taken on as principles? You said no. I would say carefully, yes, also, you could find the principles in there.
Yeah, but you have to find what they're really talking about.
Yes.
You have to actually discern the truth, what you were saying, the truth from the falsehood. You've got to really find out what they were really talking about as a principle, and then take that on. The rest is, it's bells and whistles. It's funny hats.
To be belief and just blah blah blah. Like it's kind of like sifting through trash. No, I don't. Sifting through sand to find or rocks to find something that's in there, but there's a lot of other stuff in there. Extract the clear liquid, as Peter likes to say, from the dregs. Actually, no, that's a quote from a true warrior is measured according to this, that he can take the dregs of the ancients and extract clear liquid from them. I think that was Shozen Shisai. Peter likes that quote a lot. It's literally like that. Like, for example, okay, right? We say, I looked up A Course in Miracles. Okay, you question asker, you tell me how to live question asker over there. No problem with that, but I've got a problem with that. Course in Miracles. Okay, a spiritual self-study program that aims to bring inner peace through a thought system that reframes perception and promotes love over fear. Okay, good. There you go. Why don't you make love a principle? No, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but let's imagine that if A Course in Miracles promotes love over fear. Now, say you were to embark on this, I'm going to make love a principle. Well, first of all, you might want to consider what is it? Do you even know what love is? Start there. Probably not. You probably think love is like a good feeling or something. Now, you want to start taking the principle seriously. Somebody kills your dog. Do you love them? You got to love them now. But again, you see how unclear it could be, because if you think love is like, oh, I have an ushy-gushy feeling and I want to mate with this person or something like that. See, and you think that's what love is, or you're confusing love with need. See, now we got to get clear. Well, what love is. Now you got some work to do, all right? But then Hitler just murdered 1 million Jews. You love him? Ooh. How about the
6, I heard.
Right.
6 million.
Yeah, let's be clear here.
It's even worse.
It's worse, right? Do you love that guy? Do you love him?
Well, if it was only 1 million, I could handle it. But
right.
No, I mean, seriously.
6 is too much. Fuck. See, that person at work that annoys the shit out of you, do you love them? The parents that beat you when you were a kid, do you love them? See? You want to make love a principle to operate out of. Principle's all-encompassing. You see how that might change you, yeah? You'd have to be confronted with some stuff. That might kick some ass. Same with, like, telling the truth or being honest. You want to live out of honesty, brutal self-honesty. It's more, you got to tell the truth about what you're doing. Like, just whatever. You got stuff going on in there. You're having, like, say for the commenters, right? The commenters who are asking the questions that actually underneath are like, tell me how to live. What they're not, as far as I can tell, what they're not being honest about, at least definitely in their question, I don't know if for themselves, is maybe you might want to consider being honest. Well, I'm actually just seeking validation by asking that question. Is that true? It looks true from my side. Maybe I'm wrong. I just want to promote my belief system, or in the question, I also have a really strong desire for somebody else to tell me how to live, and that likely is coming from, I don't know how to live, and it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Are you telling the truth about all that to yourself mainly? Is there more there that you could be honest about? Likely there is, because most people, when they ask those kinds of questions, have some kind of agenda. Are you telling the truth about that? Now you see how that starts to, You want to live that way? If you're going to tell the truth, everything that's false has to go away. You willing to give up your fantasies about what enlightenment's going to do for you, about what finding the perfect mate is somehow going to fulfill you, but it never happens? Or making all that money is somehow going to fix you, but it doesn't? You going to tell the truth about that?
Well, I just haven't found the perfect mate or made enough money yet, Brendan.
That's right, you see? And then we get
and I haven't gotten enlightened enough.
Point. We get back to my original point. The concepts are so... They fucking dominate. And you don't even know. You see? Now, if you're going to try to get at the truth, you'd have to discover that. Whatever's true about that, if anything. Maybe I'm just full of shit. So anyway, where are we at in our conversation here?
We brought up a few things, but I think
we're just riffing here. So you mentioned concepts earlier, pain.
Yeah, I wanted to get more clear on what concepts are and what pain is, and I need to I think dive back into reading and contemplating myself, because I did stop doing anxiety before the competition that I went to. I got that. I stopped that. And I've had an easier time getting sleep ever since. But for some reason, I was suffering a lot of physical pain. We used to talk about it on the channel sometimes.
Yeah.
I had some I don't know what was going on with me. I still don't know, and I don't really know why it went away, except I just kind of relaxed more generally in my life and just got generally more physical exercise and
I
got the perfect mate and made all the money that I need and got enlightened. No, I don't know what happened. I don't know why it stopped. So it eludes me. What is pain? What are concepts generally, and what are concepts like pain? What is this? What is pain?
Yeah. Well, I think so. If you want to, in this work, let me see. I'm just trying to consider the approach. It's like I just did a podcast with Peter, which will come out in subsequent weeks, whatever. And he was talking about the necessity for questioning, for wondering, for growth, like for learning, for becoming conscious. The first step is to get that you actually don't know something. And like, say with pain, we're quick to know what it is. It's pain.
Yeah, it's like super reflexive.
Right. It's just pain. And then you jump right away, or most people do, to what do I do about it? Because we don't like pain. Now, that whole relationship, the reflexive knowing what it is, jumping to what to do about it, and then resolving it, none of that is pointed toward, metaphorically speaking, grasping what it is. It's busy knowing what it is and knowing what to do about it. Those are both knowing. So the first step in your inquiry here is to notice that you actually don't know what it is. You have an experience that you call pain.
Yeah.
But do you actually know what it is? Like, what is it made of?
I think it's made of just not liking something, like being averse.
Okay. So then we might have to be more clear, because not liking is, we have two different words there. I don't like it. Pain. So then it sounds to me like it's focused on the aversion, not the pain again. So then we have to reorient our questioning and get clear. What are you talking about when you talk about pain? And this is we're now working on getting clear. What are you talking about? Like, I was biking with Peter the other day, and he's working on something. And he mentioned, he's like, but I haven't quite got where to I'm going to paraphrase. He didn't say it like this. I haven't quite got where to put my focus. He's like, I'm working on something, but he doesn't quite know. He hasn't zeroed in on that. What the fuck is that, specifically that? It's more general. So it sounds to me like right now we're in a sort of a general place, or like when I'm contemplating, when I've done work in the past, it took me a while to get clear. And then when I zero it in, me. Well, what is a me? Well, is it a fireman? Am I a spiritual being? Am I an awareness? So me. What is this me? And then eventually I get, oh, me. Bingo. Now, what's that? So with pain, it could be, well, is pain this or is it that? Or what is pain? We don't know. We're trying to get clear. Then once you can zero in, then you can really go to town. So what is pain? What do you want to question? Like, what do you want?
Physical pain. The exact sensation of physical pain that I experience in the body when something is painful.
Right. So now, is pain actually physical? It is an experience. Let's back up to just, we have an experience, either objective, either an object or a concept or something else. But don't worry about that. I'm not worried about that. Can you go buy pain at Walmart?
No, it's generated. My experience, I could say I generate it, but I'm not conscious of generating it.
Right. Well,
it seems to arise.
Yeah, it just fucking happens.
And I mean, I've sat there for fucking days, still watching pain move around in my body and things like that. Observing it grow and shift and change and disappear and so forth. But it's one thing to experience in it and even to detach myself from liking or disliking it, which does transform it in some way in my experience. And yet there's still something there.
Yeah.
And reflexively, I don't do that. Like, it takes a lot of concentration to do that.
Yeah. To question that.
To stay there. Yeah. And at the time, I wasn't really specifically trying to look at pain. I was just trying to be still and observe all the sensations in my body impartially.
Yeah.
And pain was one of those.
Yeah. And I imagine likely you're observing the sensations in your body because you didn't like them, so you're like, let me detach from that.
Well, no, I went to a workshop. I did a Vipassana retreat. I did
That's
a couple
what I was
Vipassana
thinking. Yeah,
retreats.
okay. Yeah, it sounded like Vipassana.
Yes, I'm sitting there, and like if you sit still long enough, there's pain.
Yeah. So then, what's it made of? What's pain made of?
I don't know. I think I might need to sit still for a while and look at it.
Yeah. What's pain made of? See, so then we have, because we have some stories, and I've intentionally not said what Peter would say about pain, in this case, just for the sake of the contemplation. See, but then we go, well, what is it made of? So we don't stop with the first glance. Because again, if we stop with the knowing, that's it. We're done. From the podcast, anyway. That's a podcast we were working on. And it's true. It's like if you're not actually open, it's a fixed thing, and then that's it. That's what pain is. And then usually people go then explaining it. And then we also believe in science. Like a belief, right? Because we don't actually do the work to make the discoveries that the scientists make. We just believe them. Because somebody might say, yes, well, it's nerve stimulation. The nerves are being stimulated and da-da-da-da-da. But you don't experience nerves. You don't even know about nerves. You've never even seen a nerve. See, so we have to go with what we experience. you're in pain, it sucks, or whatever. Right? And then you have ideas and explanations, but still, even the ideas and explanations, they may be valid, but those are in a different domain again. So then we're still left with the question, what is pain? Like, what's it made of? What is the actual substance of pain? And there's more. It's very primal, so we don't want to go there usually. But what is it actually? So we don't stop. There's this quality of contemplation of not stopping with any explanation. We start where we have no idea. So I'm speaking like to you and to people here, so I'm doing like two things at once. We start with what we don't know. You go right to the wall as best you can, like where you don't fucking know. You don't know what pain is. You ever seen it at Walmart? No. We have a scientific explanation, but the explanation still is not the same as the experience. There's an experience of pain. There's an explanation about why it's there. The explanation about why it's there is not the experience of the pain. What is the experience of the pain? What's that? Oh, I want to get out of it. Well, that's wanting to get out of it. That's not the pain. What's the pain again? Again. Relentless. So, what is it? What is the nature of pain?
I'll get back to you on it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. We can try a little more. What is it?
There's how pain feels, and then there's what pain is.
Yeah.
It's those are two different things. That's crazy.
Yeah. I got hernia surgery.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Yeah.
When I got out of that, I didn't take the pain meds. I took half of one pain med to recover, and then I just didn't. I'm saying that to toot my own horn. I just didn't want to take the meds. I didn't like how they felt. So I said, fuck it. I was still in pain. But what is it? See, again, what is it? We want to go off track, right? But what is it? This is where concentration, focus helps. You stay on it. That's why, like Einstein's quote, it's not that I'm smarter than anybody else. I stay with the problem longer. What is it made of? Pain. It's core, it's fundamental to our experience. It seems very fundamental. It's primal. You don't have to work at pain like you're in pain. You know something's wrong. Right away. Pain. Yeah, I don't know.
Life is pain, and anyone who tells you otherwise is selling you something.
That's right. And the jokes. Yeah, so we could spend some time on that. See, but it's like you wonder, and then I just tried to like get us focused right on the thing itself so that we could work. And there are so many distractions, like tell me how to live, or what's the right belief system. And so we work to like throw all that out because it really,
this gummies up the works.
Yeah, it's like if you get the truth about a belief, if you become conscious of what a belief is, you see it for what it is. It is a concept that you think is true. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then you use that concept to live your life by. Usually that's how beliefs are used. That's what happens. That's what people do. And no belief, even if the belief is accurate, like the planet is round, that's a belief. That is not the same as the round planet, you understand? They're in two different domains. One's a thought, the other one's the fucking planet.
And you don't get to experience the planet.
No, unless you go up, like astronauts probably get it better because they can go up in space and see the damn thing.
Mm.
You know? So let's see. Should we wrap it there?
We could wrap it there. I need to get going. There's other
Yeah.
stuff, but can save it for another time.
Yeah. So I think that's great.
Good.
All right. Cool, man. Thanks for listening. If you want to get involved in consciousness work or martial arts, let me know. Go to my website, email me, shoot me a message. Upcoming events, we have the winter retreat. The next big one is the winter retreat here. We're doing martial arts. Again, check my website or check chengxin.com. If you want to get involved in consciousness work, come join us on School or join the weekly newsletter. And we also have other offers and stuff like that. So check out on School, the consciousness path. All right. I think that's it for now. Much love. Take care. See you in the next one.